Hey, MJ.
Hey.
How's it going, MJ?
Great.
And what are we going to do today? What are we doing today at this AMC?
Well, we're seeing something I've been waiting for quite some time. Maybe this will give you a clue.
I'm not sure what.
Well, remember the guy who did, you know, all those great movies everyone loves? Or actually, no, the production of Cats?
Oh,
well,
yeah.
now we're seeing Hats.
Oh. I thought we were seeing Alice in Wonderland 2D or 3D, which is one we can get tickets for.
Well, yeah, that too.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are you ready to see this movie, MJ? I mean, I know we've heard about this for years. You know what I mean? It's like something they've been talking about doing for years. And people, remember how years ago people used to always say, wouldn't it be cool if Tim Burton did an Alice in Wonderland?
Yeah, I always thought, I mean, honestly, I'm looking forward to it.
Well, I know there's a lot of CGI in this, but the thing is,
It doesn't look bad.
it's like, well, what are you going to
Okay, the Cheshire Cat looks a little fake. Other than that, it looks pretty good.
It's too bad they didn't use, like, Jim Henson puppets, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that, like they do with Where the Wild Things Are, that was a flawless. They should have made it look like that.
I know, but we're going to see this movie, and, yes, we're paying for it. But, we normally would get passes, but we won't get into all those issues. But are you ready to go in, MJ?
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to wear that hat in?
Mm-hmm.
And then after it's over, we'll let you know what it is, and I'm sure you're enjoying the sounds of wind blowing all over the camera. It's like... You ready now?
Yep.
Okay, get going, MJ. Diddly 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 you. MJ. MJ. MJ.
Yeah.
Hey, MJ. So we just got out of seeing Tim Burtons Alice in Wonderland, and we saw it in 3D.
In 3D.
Not IMAX 3D, but in 3D.
Right.
Yes, MJ.
Yeah, the only thing that bugged me, you said the thing that bugged you was this, like, after a while the 3D hurts
I
your
felt
eyes.
like it was like crossing my eyes after a little while.
Even the classic 3D, the red and blue, that's never bothered me. What bothered me was the glasses, the plastic it's made of. There was, like, this creasing line that stuck out that was, like, pinching my nose.
Yeah, I kept looking over and you kept, like, adjusting them.
Yeah,
and, like,
it was pinching, like, if I had sandpaper with me, I should do that. I should carry sandpaper. If I had a knife, I would have, like, sort of rubbed it in so that way it would be smoother.
One thing I will get into the movie before we start was, there's parts of this that didn't seem as Tim Burton-y, you know what I mean? Like,
As normal.
Like, everything else he does, you know how they always have this certain theme, like a theme throughout the whole movie,
yeah,
where it just seems like Sweeney Todd has that dark kind of depressing, gloomy look.
Like,
I mean, I don't remember Planet of the Apes. I haven't watched that since I saw it in theaters.
I don't think that really had a feel like his, did it?
I don't remember.
Like, Mars Attacks, I loved Mars Attacks, but that didn't have a classic Tim Burton feel, I don't think.
Slightly, like with some of like the look of the aliens and stuff.
The all-time Tim Burton feeling movie was, you know, Nightmare Before Christmas. Well, I mean, he didn't direct it, but it was his feel.
It was his design.
It was his vision. Like, Edward Scissorhands was one of the main ones.
Edward Scissorhands was the main look.
Like Charlie and the Chocolate
Pee-wee had a look to it.
Yeah, Pee-wee was more, like, with that...
It was just the color schemes and, like, certain things.
At points.
But, you know what I mean? This one just didn't have that... I mean, the thing is, though, this is definitely one of the best, like, I would say best to better. You know what I mean? Interpretations of Alice in Wonderland.
This had a more of a feel than Sweeney Todd and, like, you know, Sleepy Hollow. Like, this is definitely better than those two.
Yeah. It's not in any way his best film.
Not his best, but it is one of his better.
I know a lot of people didn't like the Charlie and the Tractor Factory.
The thing is, there was nothing wrong with that.
The thing is, though, I mean, that had really good music, and I mean, the whole thing was good. This thing, though, was not as good as that. It's very good, though. Basically, though, this is the story of Alice when she goes back, when she's been, like, proposed to. So it's her going back to Wonderland when she's, like, in her, like, early, I think like 19 or 20.
Like 20 years old.
Something like that. But this is not the one when she's a kid. Because, like, most of the versions, they always make her when she's a kid going.
Yeah, this one is, like, takes place after. Like, they even say, like, she was there. And now they're like, is this really Alice? Like, when she gets there, it's like, is this really her? I'll admit, though, you said at points it doesn't feel like Tim Burton. The part when she falls down the rabbit hole, that really felt like Tim Burton.
I don't want to ruin anything. I'm just going to say the parts near the end, some of it did not feel like Tim Burton at all.
Yeah, because...
We don't want to say what it is, but we'll just say...
Parts of it, yeah, you'll know. It's like, okay, this feels more
You're going to feel like you're watching... And one thing I noticed, too, is didn't you notice how with the music, like the opening title theme was amazing?
It was.
But then some of the music with Danny Elfman, it felt like he was trying to go someplace with it, but then he couldn't because he'd already gone those places.
I know.
Do you know what I mean? Because, like, Edward Scissorhands is one of his top scores.
Yeah.
And a couple of times you heard it going to that point, and then it would kind of stop.
And it stopped.
And it was like,
One thing that's similar was Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the way it goes...
Yeah, it was like this...
You hear that a bit.
And it was a mix of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory mixed with Spider-Man, mixed with... The thing is, though, it's fine. It's just like he hasn't made truly magical music, I think, since Big Fish.
No, I know that was.
Wasn't that his last like real magical music? Like
Charlie and the Chocolate
Factory.
that was his last one.
Yeah.
But you're right though. But with this, the thing is, at points, the music was amazing. But
It was, but then there was points where it was
it's
like...
not like one of Tim Burton's classics, like Edward Scissorhands. Edward Scissorhands, with the whole movie, it's a classic score. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the whole movie, it's a classic score. Like Pee-wee, the whole movie, it's a classic score. This, it's like, at points, oh my god, this is amazing. And then other points, it's like, it's kind of like flat.
I know. And then they, but basically it stars, I don't know who the one who played Alice was. I don't know if I'm sure, I think she's been in something else, I don't know.
Her name's like Mia, something, I can't remember. She's gorgeous. I recognized a lot of people in this. They had a lot of great people.
But the two who played Tweedledee and Tweedledum were the guy, from Little Britain, the main guy from Little Britain, the young old guy.
Of course, Johnny Depp was the Mad Hatter.
Although Mad Hatter, though, at some points, didn't you think he was crazy in the beginning, but then was like kind of toned down? It was almost like...
At points, I think they probably... maybe Tim Burton did that because they were trying to stick with the point of what was going on, because how crazy he was. And overall, he did really well with this. Crispin Glover, he was...
Crispin Glover was in it?
He was the Red Queen's right-hand man. The Red Queen was... What was her name? Helen something Carter. It was Tim Burton's wife.
And then Anne Hathaway, who looked just like your old gal pal.
Yeah, Anne Hathaway was the White Queen.
It was amazing how much your old gal pal looked. You like twins or something.
I know, except her hair is like my old gal pal's hair was brighter than hers. And even though she was the White Queen, and then there was I knew Alan Rickman was the Caterpillar. I knew that right away. He was going to be. I didn't know if they're going to have it be his face, and they didn't. But still, it was him. And Christopher Lee was in this.
And then we will say, though, the one thing that was kind of a down point was there was so much CGI in it. Like
at points, the CGI... Actually, the Cheshire Cat looked better than I remember, because he was always one of my two favorites. Him and the Mad Hatter were always my favorite characters of the story, but didn't look bad.
I just felt like, wouldn't it be would have been even more like cooler if they did like they did with Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and made those really cool sets?
Yeah.
I mean, they could have done it for a lot of it, and I don't know, it was just kind of weird seeing Tim Burton using CGI like to this degree. It was not something you'd ever expect, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but still, like, considering...
I mean, the thing is, it was supposed to be like another world, so it fit.
It did. Honestly, like I said, we had no clue what this was going to be going in. It could have been a total letdown, and it wasn't. I mean, honestly, I'll admit, I got pretty basically what I expected out of it.
I know we're talking a lot about it, but we're trying to review this as detailed as we can.
Yeah, we don't want to ruin anything, because honestly, it is worth seeing.
It is worth
really
seeing.
Is worth seeing in
I don't know
theaters.
if you need to see it in 3D or not. I mean,
the 3D is cool at points.
It adds to it, but it's not like end of the world if you don't see it in 3D.
Right. So I mean, I do recommend seeing it in theaters.
I'd say 4 stars out of 5.
I'd say like 4.5 probably. I mean, it's not perfect, but it is amazing.
I'm interested in hearing what other people think of it, though.
Yeah, of course, we know some people are probably going to hate on us. Like, it sucked. What are you talking about? Shut up. But the thing is, overall, I mean, I'm just glad Tim Burton did it, though, because it's really fitting that he would have done this story.
Yes, I know, MJ.
And I can't wait to see his next movie.
I think he's doing Frankenweenie soon.
Oh, yeah, he's redoing that.
Well, there's going to be a 3D version of it.
I thought it was going to be live, but you said he was going to do it like he did, Nightmare Before Christmas, so it's all the clay characters.
Something like that.
That'd still be cool to see. I could see that.
They should at least have Daniel Stern come back and find where Barrett Oliver is and have him do something.
If they did it live action, I always thought the perfect kid to play that character. Barrett Oliver is the kid from the first Never-Ending Story, Bastion, one of the best movies. Remember Mr. McGorium's Wonder Emporium, the kid who collected all the hats? I think he was also in that Abigail Breslin movie, American Girl, and he was in a few other things. I thought he'd be perfect for the kid, because he looked a lot like Barrett Oliver.
MJ, this review's gone on for 7 minutes so far.
Well, that's good.
I think we've talked enough, okay, MJ?
Fine, you don't have to get sarcastic with me. Basically, Alice in Wonderland, 4.5 out of 5 stars. I recommend it.
MJ. 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 We're at Boston Market. And MJ, right across over there, across that street, around that river, there's a man. And when you see that man will give you a map. And when you get that map, you take that map, and then you take that map and you get buried treasure.
I should already have the map. This is my dream. I can control my dream.
And you find that map in the sphincter of Old Man Inkvius. And when you open up Old Man Inkvius' sphincter, you find the crown jewels.
The crown jewels. But they could be in my pocket for all I know. For it is my dream.
Move out of the way, MJ. This car wants to park. And you know, MJ, across the street at Taco Bell, they've got new shrimp tacos. You know what I mean? Delicious shrimp tacos, MJ. Delicious.
The shrimp tacos have the potion to make me huge. So
Yeah,
I can just walk across there.
Get inside, MJ. And stop acting stupid.
In Boston.
Whoa, MJ, that's a lot of stuffing.
It's not that much. One quick thing I think I would like to add. There were points of Alice in Wonderland that made me cry. I mean, deeply.
Is that something, is this news, MJ? You cry to all films.
Not all films, and if I'm not mistaken, you walked into the bathroom at one point and you were just a mess. I almost did, but I didn't want to squeeze by those girls next to me.
I think the most crying I've ever seen you in was 13 going on 30. I remember when that was over, you were like, looked at me and you're like...
No, there was one I was more than that.
Which one was that?
Remember the Invisible, that scene at the end? He was on the hill, and so you were being mean about it.
The Invisible?
Remember? It was the kid who was in his body again, and then there was the boy, and they were throwing the planes, and
that was like one of those totally forgotten films.
It was so good though. I mean, the end scene, I was by that, I couldn't even control myself. I was such a mess. I almost got to that point in this one though. Just honestly, I think I like this better than the Disney one.
Yeah.
I mean, I really do.
Go ahead and eat something, MJ.
No.
Take a sip.
All right.
What was that?
I'm shrinking.
Hey, MJ.
How did we end up near Walmart?
We always end up in Walmart. It's almost like the thing to do.
It always happens, no matter what. It's always the same dream. I thought people dreamt about different things. This is the same one.
What do you mean, MJ?
Just curiouser and curiouser.
In this dream, I'm going to call you a fictional name of Matt. Is that okay?
All right, as long as I can call you a fictional name of Steve.
Okay. How's it going, Matt Kelly?
It's going fine, Steve Phillips.
That's the name of my father. And Matt is the name of your father.
He's my father.
Yes.
Actually, my father's name is Mike. Matt is his father's father.
Your father's name is Mike?
My father's name was Mike, and his father's father is Matt.
Isn't his name Mike O'Malley, the host of Guts?
Yeah, his father is Arthur.
MJ, if you would have walked any faster, you would have been creamed.
I doubt it.
Well, let's keep going, MJ. Come on. Hurry up.
It's my dream. Nothing can hurt me here.
Well, that car right there could. So, you may think you could live, MJ, but you die.
I've been through all this before, and nothing bad ever happens.
That's enough, MJ. Look, MJ, another thing to add to the list of things that have closed down. Oh, no. The classic theater this is like the classic movie theater is like a classic Lowe's that I used to always go to as a kid. I remember seeing Shipwrecked here, and I remember seeing like House of a Thousand Corpses here like years later.
I knew it wasn't a dream.
I think someone was killed in there though.
I knew it wasn't a dream. It was a memory. This place was real.
Yes, it was, MJ, but I'm not really... I remember even seeing Waterworld in there.
Wow.
Do you remember that movie with Kevin Costner?
Did you see Sidekicks in here, or was that a different theater?
I think it was. I used to always go there.
Wow.
I did not expect this to close.
It's like so beautiful.
It's almost like if we had money, you know what I'd do? I'd buy it and, like, you know, make a studios in it. Or something. Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be cool just to own that theater and live in there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like one can dream. So if anyone, like, wants to, you know, buy this Lowe's and, like, you know, have it be a home for me and MJ, feel free. Right, MJ?
Please do.
Thank you. Hey, MJ.
Hey.
Look at this, MJ. Banshee. 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 Banshee.
And?
Banshee. And MJ, what are we doing with those?
Well,
it's the Banshee contest winners, and we have to when we're signing the Banshee DVDs.
Yeah, we're signing them, and we're giving them to you. That's right, you, the winners out there.
And the Banshee is available on March 23rd on DVD. Is that right, MJ?
That's right.
And Assault of the Sasquatch is available right now on all on-demand networks and Amazon.com.
We recommend
on
watching
demand.
it.
I know. And hopefully people start posting reviews. I know a few people have lately, like video reviews and whatnot. Mm-hmm. So MJ, we're going to sign all of these, and then send them back, and then they're going to go to the winners. So you ready, MJ?
I'm ready.
Hey, MJ.
Hey.
You signing them now?
I'm signing them.
We took them all out like this, then we'll put them all back in.
I know.
And MJ, here's the final result. All like that, all signed. Banshee. Banshee. And people keep wondering why we're saying things like that, because in the Alice in Wonderland movie it goes, Alice, Alice. Johnson. MJ, it is 3:18 in the morning,
Okay.
and why in the world are you eating Dunkin' Donuts now?
Well, this is the hour that I naturally just have a hunger. Even when I'm sleeping, I'll bet, I don't notice as I'm having a dream, but I probably have a pain right there of hunger that I just need.
Here's you tonight, though. Like when you're sleeping the night, you're like, I shouldn't have eaten that cola this late.
You're the one eating the cool. I'm eating the 2 donuts, the ceiling tile, and then the hash browns.
Oh, MJ. And I want to let you guys know, next weekend, the 13th and 14th, I'll be at the Monster Mania Horror Convention. Just attending it. Right, MJ? I wish you were able to go.
Yeah, and I seriously, I would go.
I know. But, MJ, I guess it's the end of this video now.
Yeah, it is.
I guess it's time to say goodbye, so...
Goodbye and let me eat my ceiling tile in peace.
I know, and if any of the people who were at the Severed In premiere, I wish we were able to get to that.
Yeah, we're really sorry we weren't able to make it to that.
But if any of you guys there want to make video reviews of it and stuff, because we haven't even seen it yet ourselves.
Yeah, we haven't sent any screeners, so we don't know what it's like.
But I'm sure it's going to be really cool. I'm really looking forward to getting to watch it.
Me too.
Anyway, though, we'll see you next week, and then the week after that, I'll be doing the Low Budget Pictures movie.
Yep.
Bye.